Hey, what is up guys? Welcome to part 5 of our FN 2020 My Team career mode. And this is an exciting one because we have got the Dutch Grand Prix, which I've never done the Dutch Grand Prix. Zandvoort here, so going to be learning the track as always, and just seeing what we can do. We've been getting points lately. We've had a couple point finishes and the car's faster than I'm thinking. So if it gets too easy from here on, which it might be, I'm going to turn the difficulty up. The difficulty is on, I don't know the percentage, it's very hard though. I think the setting is very hard. It's near the 100% mark. Maybe over the 90%-ish. So I think I might go up to 100 as we just develop more R&D here. The energy store cells positioning in the chassis. And because it failed, obviously. They always fail. I don't think I've ever had loads complete. And we get a new sponsor, which is great, because we leveled up to, I think, 5. So, we're getting a new sponsor, just having a look through all the weekly bonuses, more than the weekly income, I think, just because the bonuses seem to be a lot more. And we've also done the activities there as well. So, I don't know how to pronounce it properly. I think it's Orvine. It's definitely not Orvigny, so I'm going to go with Orvine, not Alvine. But yeah, so we hit Alvine there. So it's overtake 5 different drivers during a race, and I was like, okay, well that's not too bad, because if you make a pit stop and you overtake, that still counts. So I think that could be really handy there. So we've gone for that one. We're just putting them on the car, on our Spider-Man car. We're going to remove a TriStar sponsor, and we're going to put in an Orvine one. I actually think it looks really good as a sponsor as well. The vectorizeness of it is just super modern and sleek. It looks good to me. I'm just going to advance time quickly. Just get into the Will Buxton interview, which I'll let you just watch, as I actually think they're really cool, and I'm so happy Will Buxton's actually in the game.
Thanks so much for the invitation to your HQ. Let's have a little chat about the team's performance this season. What are your predictions for your team going into this season? Your second driver seems to be getting much more comfortable with their car. Have you been focusing on their development? Let's talk about your new second driver. How are they settling in? Do you see your relationship with your second driver being long-term, or will you be looking for someone else if you're successful? Your team's been picking up points fairly consistently. Do you think you'll be able to become a challenge to the top teams in the future? It's been wonderful to spend some time with you. Best of luck out on track.
So we've done the interview of Will. Went pretty good, to be honest. There's some good questions in that, mostly about the teammate and how he's performing. We have upgraded our facility. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier. So we spent, I think it was 2 million. I think we just did the build time on the aerodynamics, as the build time did seem to be quite long. But here we are, going to free practice at Zandvoort. Never done it before, other than the little invitational, so I knew a tiny bit, like 5%, because you instantly forgot after you do the Chinese Grand Prix. As we start the first one of our flying laps coming up. Just going to do the last few corners here. What I really love is the banking on this circuit. The fact that the gradient moves not only up and down, but like at an angle, it pivots. Even that there slightly, kind of like Brazil does. Look at that banking there as you go around. Like a roller drome, I think they're called. So you got the DRS rather, overtake. Not really using while just in practice, just trying to hit the barriers, just trying to find my feet. so obviously missed that. Don't brake sharp enough for those. And then this banking as well, some really nice overtakes can happen on there. So you can pick up real speed on the outside as well as the inside. So there's no wrong in how you're going to approach the corner. You can go deep and come back in, or you can go early. So not so bad. It's not a crazy hard track, to be honest, but it's actually one of my favourites already. This in Austria, I think Silverstone's up there for me as well, but this is just, when you get these corners correct, this track is super fun to drive. You'll understand later during qualifying what I mean by that. As you come around the last few corners in our Spider-Man car, just to see how well we've done. Not bad as a first go on this track, using the acclimatisation. 14th barrier tick, DRS opens. We missed one. Other than that, it was a pretty good lap, all purple. Here we are at the end of lap 3, just to show you how I didn't miss any. I got it pretty spot on, to be honest. As we approach the straight, much better timed as well. Hard tyre feels good, doesn't feel bad. But not bad at all. We finished P14 in free practice on the hard as well. So not too bad, only 2 seconds behind. Nearly midway through the table. Here we go, down the main straight now for our first banker lap of qualifying. Qualifying's interesting because this track has everything. It's got banking corners, it's got fast corners. It only has, if I can remember, 2 slow corners, to be honest. That's one of them. And it's not even, no hairpins or anything like that. They're all really fast. So aerodynamics on this and a light chassis is so critical. Over a power unit, I would say. I think fast cornering, obviously much better than just straight line speed from this track. So the Ferraris, I don't think, would be optimal. I think it'd be more based on a Mercedes and a Red Bull would fly around this track a lot. A Mercedes obviously goes around all the tracks the best. But in the way they set up the car, on paper their power unit isn't as strong as Ferrari's, despite them winning everything all the time. The rest of their car is near enough perfect, you can't really fault it. Their faults are anyone else in any other team would kill for their faults. Oh, is that all you've got wrong with yours? Oh, okay, one thing. We've got 20. As we grind on the curb there, like a skateboarder, jumping in our car. We're on the soft tyres now, obviously, for qualifying. Trying to put a decent lap in. And it's gone pretty well. That's just the banker. Pretty good lap, to be fair. 1:14.9. At the end of Q1, that was our best lap, with P13. So we move into Q2, ahead of our teammate who's in 20th position. 2 seconds faster was that, or 1 second? I couldn't see. But here we are for our second lap, in Q2. So the first one was a banker. We set a 1:14.8, which I believe is 100th, or a tenth rather. I think yeah, a tenth quicker than we did in Q1. And that's what I mean right there. You can change that, the way you do that banker lap, any way you want. You can go up, you can start low. That's why I love it. There's going to be so many drivers doing so many different tactics as we gain 2/10 there, straight through. You can see that's where I lost speed on that corner. Because I didn't realise you could pretty much, not go flat, but you could just maintain like gear 6 through that corner. 5-6 kind of style. So we open DRS. gain more and more time, coming up into 7/10 here. It goes back down. There he goes. There we are. Use all the curb, which cost us a bit of time. So there's always more time to gain. As you come around the final corner. Oh, it's a short track as well, which I like. I think it's the second shortest track other than Austria. So when we cross the line here, half a second quicker, and end up in P9 going into Q3. We actually get into Q3 as well. So we are 1.2 seconds slower than the Mercedes, but that's more than fine with me. Happy, happy, happy days. Here we are, we've got our banker lap here in Q3, lap 1, sorted, we've got a 1:14.1, so that banker lap was faster than our Q2 lap anyway. And that puts us in P5. Or is that 6? That's P6, sorry. And we've already gained time. You can see my confidence growing and growing and growing with this track. There's a tiny bit of time there, but we make it up. Down this part, here we go. That's where you can gain so much time, just knowing how fast you can actually go before hitting the braking point, as we're up nearly half a second coming into sector 2. As again, love the short tracks. They're so nippy. They're left, right. So no hardcore straights, no silly progression to learn a proper braking zone. It just comes at you so fast. You have to just brake you're almost braking all the time. So you don't use the curb here, and that's where you can see the improvement in time. You come around the penultimate long back corner, which I absolutely love. Up the wall almost. Open DRS. I'm going to cross the line in the in 1:13 and go remain P6. And that P7 is where we end up. Max Verstappen on pole at the Dutch Grand Prix. Of course he has to be. So some really bad news now regarding the race itself. The actual footage didn't save. Capture card didn't work, and it's an absolute killer. But what we have got is at least highlight reel of the footage. Now I start in I think it's P7, and I have one of the best races of my life, and I actually get on the podium and I get 3rd place. Now you're going to see the highlights here, and I'm absolutely gutted you guys can't see it. So tomorrow we're going to be doing a Max Verstappen at Zandvoort Dutch GP, last to first challenge. I'm really sorry, guys. It's not perfect, but at least we got some highlights. If you have enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Cheers, guys.